If you win, you'll be out of debt on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome to Card Sharks. Good to have you here. You're very kind. Thank you, Gene. Thank you. That was a very good opening poem, and I hope someone's going to get out of debt making a lot of money today. We thank Beth Dubé of Turner, Maine for sending in that opening poem. Thank you, Beth. Now, let's get to the cards. And Janice and Bettina, if you will, start loading in the cards, and we'll meet our players on Card Sharks. Lori Gauze, our champion. Hi, Lori. Good to see you again.
Thank you. It's nice to see you.
Our new mother with 3-month-old, right?
Yes.
My spies tell me that you know how to talk in sign language.
Yes, I do.
Do you want to say something in sign language right over there to that camera, Lori? Go ahead. Yeah? Really? If I could translate, I bet that says that she has won $9,300. Is that what you said, Lori?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't that great? Over $9,000. That's good to have you back. That's a nice thing to know how to do, too.
Yes,
Good.
it is.
We're meeting your challenger for the first time. This is Steve Schwartz. Hi, Steve. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Would you tell us about yourself?
I'm from Palos Verdes, California, and I'm just graduated UCLA. And to avoid getting in the real world, I'm going cross country to see this country of ours.
What do you mean to avoid getting in the real world?
When you graduate from school and you have to get a job, I don't want to do that yet.
Oh, so you're going to hold it off for a little while.
Just for a little while.
Good to have you here. Good luck to both of you.
Thank you.
Each player has a deck of 52 playing cards. They're shuffled, then the players cut the cards before we go on the air. Lori, the champion, plays the upper cards, the red cards. Steve, the challenger, the lower cards, the blue cards. Before you can begin calling high-low on the cards, you must win a high-low toss-up question. And we'll start with a question to you, Lori. We asked 100 married men, if you were offered $10,000 to go an entire year without seeing your wife, would you accept the offer? How many men said, oh yeah, they would accept the offer?
Oh, I don't think so. I think too many men really love their wives. So I'll say it's a low number, and I'll say maybe 35.
35 men for $10,000 would not see their wife for a year, Steve. Higher or lower?
Well, I don't know. It depends how long they were married, but I'd have to say a little lower than that.
Why do you say it depends on how long they've been married?
Well, they've been married for a while. They might be willing to do it.
Oh, I see. All right. Steve, if it is lower, you'll go to the board first. If not, it'll be Lori. The actual number of married men who for $10,000 would go a year without seeing their wife is 27. It is lower. Yes. And I might add, I saw that poll, Steve. Those 27 men all said, who do they have to pay the $10,000 to? Yes. Steve, your base card is a jack. You want to play that or change it?
I'm gonna play that one. I'm going to go lower.
Lower than a jack? Yes,
Yeah.
with a 10.
Whoa.
Remember, you can freeze at any time. Always your decision.
I'm going to play it one more time and go lower again.
Lower than a 10? No, it's a king. And that's the chance you take. You lose both of them back to the base card, and you give Lori a chance to play a 7. Now, you didn't win the question. You can't change it, Lori. Call off that 7.
I'm going to go higher.
Higher than a 7? No, it's a 4. Neither player could advance. Janice will fill in the spaces. The next question to you, Steve. We asked 100 women. If there were 2 pills, one that gave you an A-size bust, smaller, and one that gave you a D-size bust, huge, and you had to take one or the other, which one would you take?
Well,
How many women said they would take the A-size pill for the smaller one?
Well, if you were asking guys, it would be pretty high. They had the choice for the women, but girls, I don't think they like it. It's too much trouble when it's too much. So I'd say about 25.
Now the question is, how many would take the smaller one?
Yeah, about 25.
25 would take the smaller one.
I'm sorry, 75.
75. Okay, that's what I thought you said. Want to clarify that? And we'll quickly switch that to 75 for the smaller one. He says that 75 would take the A-size pill. They would want it smaller, Lori.
No way. I really believe it's going to be lower. They want that big bust. I would.
You say lower.
Sure.
The actual number of women who would take the A-size pill rather than the D-size pill is 64. It's lower. Yes. Only, I keep thinking of that old song, Take the A Train, for some reason. Lori, your base card is a 7. Do you want to keep it now?
No, I want to change it.
Next card off the top of the deck is another 7.
I'm going to go lower.
Going to go against the odds. Got a
Yes.
feeling. Lower than a 7? Oh, no! 3 7s in a row. That is not lower. You lose that, and you give Steve a chance to play off the jack and call this.
I got to go lower.
Lower than a jack. Yes, a 5.
I got to go higher. Got to go
Higher
higher.
than a 5. Yes, with a 10.
That 10 over last time. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to stay with the 10 this time.
You're going to freeze it right there. We move the freeze bar over, fill in Lori's space. Next question to you, Lori. We polled 100 lawyers and asked them, if you could be a doctor tomorrow, earning your same salary, would you switch professions? How many lawyers said, yes, they would switch professions and become a doctor?
Oh, that's a hard question. I don't think too many would, even though they both have a lot of headaches. So I'm going to say it's pretty low, and I'll go 47.
47. Of course, the doctors may know something to do for the headache, too, right?
That's true.
47, Steve. Higher or lower?
Lawyers have a lot of pride, and so I'm going to have to say even lower.
Even lower than that.
Even lower than that.
The actual number of lawyers who would rather be doctors is... It is 10. It's much lower, Steve. Yeah.
I'm going to take a new card.
Incidentally, just for some clarification with the people out there, that little light flashed on before the number because, of course, they have the answers over there and they're ready to flash it. Steve, the 10, do you want to play it?
I'm going to take a new card.
And we'll change it to a 9. Not a good change, Steve. Got to play it.
I'm going to go lower.
Lower than a 9.
Yeah!
Yes, with a 2.
Got to go higher for the whole thing.
This is higher than a 2. You've got
Gotta
the
go
first
higher.
game of our best 2 out of 3 match.
Yeah!
Gallagher leads 1-0 with $100. We'll set up for game 2 coming up right after we take time out for this. Please watch.
This is not a radish. Looks very much like my car. You can tell with the little lipstick.
Alexplanations with Alex Trebek on Classic Concentration, weekdays at 1.
For game 2 with the same 2 decks of cards, these are the next cards off the top of the deck. And this question goes to you, Steve. We asked 100 married men, have you ever taken your wife to a party, forgotten she was with you, and driven home without her? How many men said they had driven home without their wife?
I don't think too many married men would leave their wives and forget them. They might leave them and say they forgot them. But I'd have to say about 10.
10. 10 have left, Lori.
It's true. They might get drunk and forget him, but I'm gonna go a little bit higher.
Higher than that?
Yeah.
You think it happens?
Yeah.
That?
Oh, yeah. They get drunk and they don't know what they're doing after
Oh, I
that.
see. The actual number of married men who have taken their wife to a party and forgotten her is 3. It's not higher, Steve. 3. Just 3 men forgot their wives, and after that, they never forgot again. Steve, your base card is a big ace.
Oh, yeah, an ace. Lower.
Lower than an
Lower.
ace. Yes, with a 6.
I'm going to go higher. I feel lucky. I'm going to go
Risking that
higher.
card in this one higher.
Yeah.
It is an 8.
And I'm staying right there.
You'll freeze
Freezing
it
right there.
right smack up the middle. Steve needs 2 cards to become the new champion. Lori, we asked 100 mothers of 16-year-old girls. Now, moms, have you ever peeked at your daughter while she was saying goodnight to a boy? How many mothers said they had peeked at their daughters?
Oh, yes, I believe they do, just to see what happens, I think. And
That's why they peek, Lori. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to say 60.
60 have
Yeah.
peeked.
I don't know. I think more fathers would peak than mothers, so I'm going to have to say lower. I don't think too many mothers. The
You say
fathers are the
lower.
ones that are out there. I know.
Oh, boy, did you get a lot of agreement out there, Steve. The actual number of nosy mothers who've peeked at their daughters saying goodnight to a boy is 29. It's lower, Steve.
Give me a new card.
Steve, you were all alone, but you were
Give me
right.
a
You
new
want that
card.
8.
No way. Give me a new card.
Changing the 8 to a queen. Good change.
Lower.
Lower than a queen.
Yeah, higher. Higher before I have a
If it was
chance
higher,
to
we
think
have a
about
new
it.
champion for the win. He did it for the queen. Steve Schwartz, congratulations. Fine win. And Lori, our new mother, you've done very well here. You're leaving us with $9,300. Thank you, Lori. Lori Gauze. Thank you, Lori. Steve, come on down here. Congratulations.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Attaway. Steve's going to get a chance at the money cards right after we take time out for this commercial message. Back our champion, Steve Schwartz, $200 richer.
Yeah.
Ready to go for the big dollars?
I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
And let's open the board and get to the money cards. Come on, Steve. We're all rooting for you. Steve, you won $200 in the game. That's yours to keep. Now we've got a brand new deck of cards for you, all shuffled and cut. We're going to give you new money, and this time you're going to bet that money. Starting on the bottom line with $200. Bet that as you will with these 3 cards. Move up to the second level. We add another $200 of betting money, and we give you 3 more cards. Your minimum bets are $50 until you get to the top card, that big bet. There you must bet at least half the money. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Good luck. Here's $200. As in the game, we give you a choice of 2 base cards on this bottom level. When you move up to the second level, now you're going to be able to change your base card. When you move up for the big bet, again, you can change that base card. We want to give you every opportunity to make a lot of money, Steve.
Thank you.
Yes. And for those who may be tuning in for the first time in a while, this is a new innovation, and we really want people to win money. That's why we're adding it. Go ahead, Steve. $200, and you're starting with a 4. Do you want it?
I'm going to go higher. $200 higher.
Right away, the whole thing.
$200 higher.
$200 higher than a 4. Yes, very much higher, a king.
$400 lower.
The whole thing, $400 lower than a king. It is a 3, very much lower.
I'm going to go the whole thing higher.
$800 higher than a 3. Yeah, a queen. And you have cleared the board on the bottom level, Steve. $1,600. Up goes the queen. We give you the other $200. You've got $1,800, Steve. Do you want to play that queen now?
I'm going to stay with the lady. Stay with the lady and go $1,000 lower.
$1,000 lower than a queen. Oh, yes, with a 2. $2,800 on a great card. Nothing more. $2,800 bet he'll double it if this is higher than a 2, and it is! $5,600 and 2 cards to go, Steve.
I'm going to go $2,000 lower.
$2,000 lower than a jack. And it is! With an 8 up now. A middle card.
New card. Give me a new card.
You know it. That's the great advantage now of being able to change. He can change that 8. You must play this one on the big bet. A 7. Ooh. A little bit better. Now listen carefully, Steve. You've got $7,600. You must bet at least $3,800.
Okay, I'm going to bet just at $3,800, and I feel it's going to be higher.
All right.
Feel it's going to be higher.
You've got good money in your pocket already. Let's see if we can get a lot more.
I feel it's going to be higher.
$3,800 bet higher than a 7. It is! $400. Yeah! Way to go, Steve. Come on down here. That's super. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I don't believe it yet. I don't believe it yet.
I love it when people win the money. $11,600. We'll be right back. Believe it. Who has spent 2 minutes sitting here telling me, I don't believe it, I don't believe it, I don't believe it. You did great.
I don't believe it.
He still doesn't believe it. Would you? All right, Steve, we're going to meet a new challenger. Right now we're going to deal out 2 brand new decks of cards. Here's our next player on Card Sharks. Gene Desmond. Hello, Gene. Welcome. Nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Tell us about yourself, if you will.
Well, I'm originally from New York City, and I'll never be able to deny that. Not with my accent, which I haven't been able to lose.
I recognize that southern drawl any place, Gene.
I thought so. That's South Brooklyn. And I'm a bra designer. I got into that.
Wait. What, Gene?
I design bras.
You design bras.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got into that because I used to be, in the old days when we never told anybody, I used to be a bra and girdle model. And then where are you going to go from there? So I became a designer.
Of course, yes. I like that you design bras. You said I got into that because that's just doesn't. Good luck in the match, Gene. You'll play the lower cards, the blue cards. Steve plays the upper cards, the red cards. And we start with a question to Steve. We asked 100 married women, did you know your husband was going to propose to you before he proposed? How many married women said they did know?
I'm sure that most of them knew because they, in their way, they're the ones that arranged it. I'd have to say about 60.
60. Higher or lower, Gene?
Oh, I I think women are pretty wise, and I think they can read the men pretty well, and I would have to go higher.
Even higher than that.
I think.
The actual number of married women who said they knew their husband was going to propose is 69. Gene, you're right, it's higher. And Gene, you'll start off playing a 3.
I like that.
Higher than a 3, yes, with a queen. Continuing on. Lower than a queen, a 7.
I'll freeze.
You'll freeze. Gene deals in sign language. Up, down, boom. Okay, Gene, the question goes to you. We asked 100 married men. If you could pick your wife, could you pick your wife out of a line of women if all you could see was her bare feet? How many women said they could pick out their wife? See all their bare feet. Could he pick out his wife's?
Well, I don't know. I don't think men have a habit of looking at their wives' feet too often. Oh, you think so? No, I don't think so.
I've read those books. I know. There are sure.
I think maybe if you had said their legs, but I don't think with the feet. I would say the number would be pretty low, and I would say maybe 15 men would think they could pick out their wives by the
15 men could pick out their wives just from the feet, Steve.
I don't think they could, but I think they could, so I'm going to have to go higher.
Higher than
I'm going to have to say higher.
I could. The actual number of married men who said they could pick their wife out of a line of women if they could only see their bare feet is 64. Steve, it's higher. Yes. Steve, your base card. A 5. Do you want it?
I'm going to play it and go higher.
Playing the 5 higher. Yes.
Yeah. 9. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. I feel lucky. I'm gonna go lower.
Lower than a 9.
Yeah! Woo! I'm gonna stay right there.
We freeze it. We've got a tie. Both players need 2 cards to win the first game of the match. Steve, we asked 100 bachelors in their 30s. If you met the perfect girl today, would you be willing to get married? How many bachelors said yes, they would be willing to get married?
Well, I think just about all of them would if they found the perfect girl. They just never find what they think's a perfect girl. So I'll have to say 80.
80 would get married if they found the perfect lady, Gene.
I think that a lot of bachelors, by the time they're in their 30s, would like to settle down. I would go higher.
Even higher than 80.
I would go higher.
The actual number of bachelors who, if they met the perfect girl today, would be willing to get married is 72. It's not higher, Steve.
Get rid of that 8.
You want that 8?
Get rid of that 8.
Changing the 8 to a 10. A little better card.
Well, there haven't been any high cards, but I'm gonna say lower. I'm gonna have to say lower.
Lower than a 10?
Yeah!
3.
Higher!
Higher than a 3 for the win. Yes, please. Game number 1 to the champion at $100. And we will set up for game number 2. Janice, if you will. Steve has the first game at $100. Gene, you need this one. Brooklyn, huh? Never would have recognized that accent. Gene, the first question goes to you as Janice deals out the cards. We asked 100 top fashion models in New York City. Are your teeth capped? How many fashion models said their teeth are capped?
Well, models have to be beautiful, or at least as beautiful as they can be, and my teeth are capped. I never thought I'd say that on television.
I'll be darned. Okay.
I would say quite a large proportion would do as much as they could for their teeth to make them look beautiful, and I would go up probably to about 70.
70 have had their teeth capped, Steve.
I don't think that many. I really don't. I can't tell if they're capped or not, but I'd have to say lower.
You say lower. The actual number of fashion models who have capped teeth is 55. It's lower. Steve. Steve, your base card. A 5.
I've been seeing a lot of 5s. I'm going to go higher with it.
Higher than a 5.
Yeah!
An 8.
Stay right there.
Freezing it right there. And now we go to the question to you, Steve. We asked 100 third grade children, what state is Jimmy Carter from? How many third graders knew that Jimmy Carter is from Georgia?
Well, I think you can give those kids more credit than they're due. I'm going to have to say about 60.
60 knew that Jimmy Carter's from Georgia, Gene.
I think third graders watch TV. They know a lot of what's going on. I would go even higher.
Even higher. The actual number of third graders who knew that Jimmy Carter is from Georgia is 20. Not higher, Steve. Steve, do you want that 8?
Get rid of the 8 again. Get rid of the 8.
And it becomes a queen.
A queen. I'm going to go lower with the lady.
Lower than a queen. Yes,
yeah.
with a jack.
I'm going to go lower with the jack.
Lower than a jack. Yes,
yeah.
with 4.
Higher.
For the win, higher than a 4. He did it! him up against a tough champion. We have some nice party gifts. Thank you, Gene. Gene Desmond. Thank you, Gene. Come on out here, Steve, and we'll be right back right after this commercial message. Way to go. We're going to go for the money card.
I'm ready to go again. I'm ready.
When next we meet, he'll go for the big money. So join us, won't you, on Card Sharks. Bye-bye.
A representative of the studio audience will receive Dane Craft's jewelry creations designed with classic beauty, reflecting the harmony of elegance and style. A handsome and unique original Primavera collection furnished by Dane Craft. And some of our contestants will receive Hamilton Beach's revolutionary new 2001 Space-Age electronic computer blender, touch controls for 16-speed selection, timer, digital readouts from Hamilton Beach Scoville, and Billy the Kid fashion coordinates for boys of all ages from toddlers to teens. Billy the Kid boys wear available in all leading stores. And better drinking water with Culligan's new Super Guard. Bigger capacity, more filtration. Enjoy better drinking from Culligan. And Town and Country tableware by Washington Forge. Beautiful Fleetwood handles and mirror bright stainless steel. Dishwasher safe from Washington Forge. This is Gene Woods speaking for Card Sharks. A Mark Goodson, Bill Todman production.